Chapter 41, Day 673. Quote from my journal. This will officially be my last entry in this little pink journal of mine. It has almost been 2 years since I started writing in it. It's hard to believe it has been that long. It still feels like yesterday that I was shocked to the core with the news. I have been through so much. Sometimes it feels very much like a dream. I'm thankful for the inspiration I had to keep a journal of the experience. It will always be a wonderful thing to look back on and to pass down through the generations. It is wonderful to say that I am officially D-O-N-E done. I had my last surgery on May 31st, 2013. I love my plastic surgeon. She is a true miracle worker, and I feel so blessed to have been sent her direction. If I didn't have a few dozen scars, you would never know that anything had happened to these girls of mine. I'm so fortunate to have them look as good as they do. I know it could be a lot worse. I went to Carol's mastectomy boutique about a week ago to get fitted for a good supportive bra. While I was there, I read a newspaper article about one of the owners. She was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 27. In the article, there was a quote from her husband. He said, "Every time I look at that scar, I am reminded that God could have taken you. Instead, he chose to take your breasts so that you could stay here and teach the boys about Jesus." That really struck a chord with me. I was facing death. It was a real possibility. But for whatever reason, the Lord needs me to continue my work here on earth. I do believe one of those reasons is to continue raising my kids and teaching them about Jesus. I have to remind myself of that on a daily basis because I get wrapped up in silly things and get distracted from what I really need to be doing. Back to my surgery. I went to a new surgical center and I hope to never have to go back there. It was an older facility, which has since closed, thankfully. Everyone was nice enough, and they actually had a heated operating table, which I enjoyed for about a minute before I drifted off into La La Land. The problem came in recovery. When I woke up, my right arm was completely numb, and it was bothering me. In my altered state of consciousness, I remember one of the nurses saying that they had put the blood pressure cuff on it for a little bit. If I hadn't been so out of it, I would have complained very loudly about that. I had it written in big black letters on my arm, no BP or IV. Having blood pressure taken or an IV placed on my right arm increased my risk for my lymphedema to flare up. By the time I got home, my arm was already swelling, and so were my hands and fingers. They were still numb, but starting to tingle a bit. I was not a happy camper about the situation. After a day or so, the numbness went away, but I had to wear my compression sleeve for about a week to keep it down. The surgery itself went really well, though. Dr. Chen was originally planning on going down in implant size, but she was able to reinforce the area well enough with alloderm tissue that she was able to keep my original implant size. That made me happy. It was a bit of a shocker when I went to take a shower for the first time. I had about 30 little packets stitched all over my breasts. My chest looked like a tied quilt. The stitches were holding the alloderm in place. It looked crazy. Add my 2 drains to that and I was looking pretty sexy. I also had a big piece of sticky plastic wrap over my whole chest to keep germs away. I was able to get the drains out about a week after surgery. That was a heavenly day. They are so uncomfortable. I had to sleep sitting up for a whole week. Not fun. About 10 days after surgery, I was able to go in to have all the sutures taken out. That was heavenly too because they were super itchy. I still have to wear an ACE bandage wrapped tightly around the bottom of my breast to hold them up while everything heals. I'm not supposed to lift anything over 10 pounds either. I need to be better about that. It's really a hard thing to do, but I don't want to mess anything up. I'm so beyond done with this chapter of my life. I really feel a sense of completion with this surgery. I know there is not another one coming, so I feel I can finally start moving forward for good. It's a good thing too, because I am out of pages in this book. Thank you, little pink journal, for being such a good companion on this long and windy road. I look forward to reading your pages and using them as a reminder of how precious life is and how much my Heavenly Father loves me. End quote.